We are talking about the Siaya International Trade and Investment Conference. Actually, that is going to be our focus starting today all the way to Friday when this conference will be ending. And we are looking at areas of investment so that we can also, that is the intention of this particular conference here. And one key area that needs investment is the blue economy. Remember, blue economy is one of the contributors to the gross domestic product in Kenya, in as much as it's still paltry, it's just about 50 billion annually. But then these are an area that has a massive potential to contribute significantly to the GDP. And here with me now is the coordinator for the aquaculture in the Western and Nyanza region, that is Sam Kidera, to talk to us about the gaps, the market gaps, and also areas for that is ripe for investment within this important area. Sam, welcome to KBC. We are talking about the Siaya Investment Conference, and when we look at investment, talk with specific focus on aquaculture. What are those areas that you feel are that needs more investment?
Thank you. Just as Wycliffe has said, I'm Samson Kedera, the regional coordinator for Blue Economy and Fisheries, where aquaculture squarely falls in. Aquaculture is a very big sector, which currently is a growing sector in the Kenyan economy. You realize that it is bridging up, especially to our capture fisheries, whose main contribution comes from Lake Victoria and the Indian Ocean. We still have a lot of gaps, especially in the industry, to make it grow faster. One is in the cage industry. This is a growing area which is still very, very fragile, and but it is highly promising because we can refer to it as a gold in our area. So along the aquaculture value chain, that is from the production to the markets, we need to invest in cold chain facilities. The cold chain facility is going to help in ensuring that the farmers have got their products well kept in the most hygienic way, so that they also reach the markets when they are still very, very healthy, at the same time within the minimum standard requires as per the standard specifications in Kenya. So investment along the value chains, especially the cold chain facility, is still key. Then you also find that most of the products from the aquaculture are taken to our open markets. Gikomba, for example, is one of the markets that receive our fish from the aquaculture sector. Investing in processing industry for this particular sector is equally very key. So you'll find that some of these particular areas are still missing. Also, we have the aquaculture inputs. We have the fingerlings. We still need a high level of production of fingerlings because the numbers of farmers who are coming in this particular sector are growing, and they need to get the quality fingerlings that are certified within our standard framework with the support of the Kenya Fishery Service, which is our regulator, and advice from Kenya Marine and Fishery Research Institute. We still need to grow this so that we have many people who are brought up as hatchery producers that also produces good fingerlings that are supplied to our farmers. The same also in the feed industry. You'll find that most of the feeds which are being used in this particular industry are imported. For us to bridge this gap, there need to be much investment in the cotton sector, in the sunflower sector, generally in the agriculture sector, so that we have our raw materials from within. And this is going to help in also reducing the costs of production in this.
What do you think is barring proper investment in aquaculture? Is it that people are yet to embrace this new frontier, or there's lack of enough information for people actually to embrace this particular innovation?
You are right, Wycliffe. You realize that as a government, we are also trying to align with the emerging issues in this sector. You realize that we are just coming up with the aquaculture policy, so that we bring the new emerging issues also brought on board, especially the cage farming. But you also find that most of our financial institutions were fearing to offer loan financial facilities, at the same time insurance facilities to de-risk this particular sector. So these are some of the areas that most of our investors fear to breach. But as a government, we are trying to bridge these particular gaps. Already we are working very closely with our insurance industry. One of them is GA, which has come up to come with the best products to insure our farmer so that they don't have a lot of risk in this. In the event of any eventuality, then they are compensated to bridge this gap. At the same time, we are also working very closely with some investors. One of them, which is very active, is aquaculture, which we are coming with models that will also is involving our banks and our investors, so that they are given asset financing, so that in the event of any losses, then the insurance companies also come up to ensure that the banks, the investors and everybody is kept afloat.
You've mentioned inadequate capital as one of the hindrance factors towards, barring optimal adoption of aquaculture. Probably, would we say the government would consider setting up a fund probably for budding entrepreneurs who would want to try their luck in this particular sector?
Why not? These are possible options. You know, if you look at our economic policy in Kenya, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, it looks at all the best models. You realize last week there was the launch of the Nyota program. So these are some of the models that are going to bring youth and women on board so that their capital capabilities are improved so that they get into such kind of investments.
And in terms of the uptake of aquaculture as the new frontier in the blue economy, what would you say about the Siaya International Investment Conference that is underway starting today in Siaya?
This is a fantastic initiative. And you remember we had the Homa Bay International Conference on Trade and Investment. Today we are in Siaya. We have witnessed a number of investors showing interest in investing in this particular industry. Hopefully, we are going to have a number of investors who are going to come, and then we are going to showcase our potential in the blue economy sector, because you realize currently blue economy contributes up to 50 billion, and it has a potential of going up to 250 billion. So it's a huge sector. Example, we have to transform from the wooden boats industry to fiberglass. So this is still a very green industry that with more support, we have many investors who can come up, and we are, you know, even our president has been going outside to lobby for more investors. So this is an opportunity that is going to provide the investors a way of seeing what we are capable of providing as Kenya.
The Siaya International Investment and Trade Conference, it's not just about investment, but also trade. And we talk about trade, there's also the issue of youth unemployment. But then yesterday, when we had the conversation, had a conversation regarding this conference with the Siaya governor, that is James Orengo, you mentioned that the youth are going to be central in the sustainable growth of Siaya. When we talk about agriculture and the youth, do you think the youth are embracing this new frontier enough?
It is true, the youth are embracing this frontier. Let me give an example. If you go to the aquaculture industry, just go to the cage farms. The kind of people who are employed in that, because it is energy-driven and energy-dependent industry. The youths who are involved in net making, net mending, okay, in harvesting, all doing sorts of things, cage maintenance, taking care of the fish in the cages, taking care of the fish in the farms. It is youth-driven. And let me also tell you that the aquaculture industry supports 60 to 70% by youth and women. And so when it is well nurtured within our regulation frameworks and legal frameworks, it is the best way to engage youth in totality.
You mentioned inadequate capital as one of the hindrances, but then also we have had or rather we've witnessed cases of fish kills, especially in the cages. That is also a new frontier in this whole spectrum of blue economy. You represent, or rather you work with the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute. This research that you conduct and the findings that you get, do you pass them to the youth and also those that are partaking in this particular spectrum?
Okay, I work with the State Department for Blue Economy and Fisheries, a policy organ within the government. Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute is our body, it's our research institute within the State Department, and they work very closely with the Kenya Fisheries Service, which is our regulator. Definitely, the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute do research and they disseminate these particular findings to the to farmers and also to extension workers within the county governments. Yeah, so even there are recent studies that took place when we had the fish kills. This information has been disseminated to farmers. And if you look at the Marine Spatial Plan for Lake Victoria, it was wholesomely developed by Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute to guide the capacity of the cages that need to be put here, the places where they're supposed to be placed, and the carrying capacity of each and every cage, depending on the dimensions of the cage which are being used. So it is true, the findings done by the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute are disseminated. And there are very many ways through which this particular information reaches our extension workers and our farmers. And we have come with a lot of, because once they have come, this information is modeled in such a way that the ministry, which is headed by the Cabinet Secretary, Joe, and the State Department being headed by our PS, Madam Betsy Mudhoni Njagi, models this particular information, and then they are packaged in such a manner that they reach the county government. They will reach the county government through even WhatsApp platforms, through bulletins which are given, and through the government delivery units, which also give this particular information at certain intervals. So generally, this particular information informs the aquaculture sector, and it is because of this many people are now trying to come and invest in this particular sector. If it was not for them, then people will not be having information about the potential of aquaculture, and especially cage farming as a thriving business enterprise in this particular region.
When you look at Sitiko, that is the Siaya International Investment Conference, it is not just mobilizing investors across borders, but also the local investors, the potential investors within our borders here. What would you tell them to be, what would you advise to be the area of focus when we talk about aquaculture regarding the investment conference?
One of the areas that require focus is coming up with the best insurance policy to de-risk the sector. We have organizations, the insurance companies that are coming up. Then we're saying that the investors need to team up, and then because the insurance companies are also investors in this particular case, this is an opportunity for them. They come with the best models that will support the aquaculture industry. At the same time, best models that will support the blue economy industry at large. Even financial institutions come with the best models for financial facilities to our cage investors who are not capable of amassing adequate capital to support their investments. Yeah, so all these ones are opportunities. At the same time, we also request landowners who have large, massive lands that they don't make it expensive. They make it moderate to allow investments in aquaculture so that they support production. And at the long run, we are going to have gains that are going to come as a result of this. But if we make this very expensive, then many investors will shy away from coming to invest.
Thank you, Sam. The Sitiko continues, and we'll also continue engaging you on what you've learned throughout the process. But for now, that is where we put a cap. Ben Troy, that is Samson Kidera, who is the regional coordinator for fisheries in charge of Nyanza and Western Kenya, talking to us about the opportunities for investment in the aquaculture sector. Remember, the Siaya International Trade and Investment Conference is actually the theme for that conference seeks to mobilize investment in Siaya to place Siaya as the go-to county when it comes to trade and investment. Well, that is the conversation we've had now, but then our coverage of Sitiko continues up until the very last moment, the very last moment of that particular conference. For now, it is back to you, Troy, in studio.
A very good morning to you back at Broadcasting House. We are here at the Sitiko, famously known as the Siaya International Trade Conference, happening live from the 14th to the 17th of this week. And we are here at the exhibition point. This is where exhibitors from all over the country and far field come to showcase what they are coming to show the people who are visiting the conference. Remember, this conference is not just about the plenary area. We also have exhibitors coming to showcase what they have, from agriculture to energy and all the other sectors, including construction as well. We've also seen a lot of contractors here. Remember, this is the first conference for Siaya, the first trade conference for Siaya, and they're pulling up all the stops just to make sure that everyone is involved. And we're having even people from the motor sector bringing in all their wares just to show what Siaya has to offer. In fact, this exhibition area, as we are speaking right now, is still being populated. We are seeing exhibitors from up to 100, and in fact, we have been told more than 200 exhibitors are coming here to showcase what they have to the world. Remember, this is an international conference, which means it's not only for investors here in the country, but also from further afield. And what is interesting to note is that Siaya is also trying to tap into sectors they've never tried before, including the energy sector, where they're looking to house the first nuclear facility here to generate crucial energy for us. Now, let me bring you to the exhibition here at the exhibit area. We have someone who can talk more about why they're here and what this conference means to them from their side. Remember, this is not just about a single sector, it's about several sectors. And maybe they'll introduce themselves and tell us how this conference is impacting them and what they hope to achieve from this conference. Welcome. You're live on Channel 1 KBC.
Thank you so much. I'm Abella Owur. I'm working with KMET. KMET is an organization that is locally based in Kisumu, but we are serving a number of counties in Kenya. Today we are here at Sitiko, showcasing that investing early in the children is also a very smart investment that we need to take up, not only looking at the broader investments in monetary value, but we're looking at the human capital development, where when we touch on the first 1,000 days of children, we're able to ensure that there's productivity in life, there's ensured food security, because we are targeting the most critical years in life to ensure that we have the best investment in life. So we are here as an organization with a project called SmartSat Initiative, and the SmartSat Initiative focuses on the leadership, targeting the leadership to ensure that they focus smartly, invest smartly with the children, to ensure that we have a very, very productive nation in the future. So we are having so many innovations here at our booth, so that the county gets to recognize how best they need to very well target the children as they also invest in other areas. Yes.
Indeed, that's very unique. Maybe just enlighten our viewers by telling them what are some of these innovations and how can these innovations tap into the potential, the economic potential of such a county as Siaya.
So we are having various partnerships that we have with the county, to include even the health sector. So within the health sector, we are having innovations to help us reduce postpartum hemorrhage among the women. And women, we are very well know that these are people that are very core in our production in the country. So when we prevent some of the deaths that we are having within the women, then we're able to be assured that the community are going to be taken care of. We are also having production around nutrition, where we are producing NutriFlour. And the NutriFlour supports our children, be able to have better nutrition outcomes in their lives. So we are having that as a package package to ensure that we have a very integrated model that is also going to support us in building the economy of our country. So we are having other health innovations, including even engaging the children in play as part of their development and introducing the human capital development. How do we ensure that our kids are able to be engaged, play as early as possible, be stimulated, and be able to communicate well as our future leaders? So we are having that model that is well integrated to ensure that we have a very focused attention in this particular investment in Siaya.
That is very interesting. You're integrating early child development and connecting it with the innovation. Perhaps do you have some numbers of the people you have so far incubated through this system, and how are they right now? How are they doing? If I can say, the alumni of that sector.
We are currently working within the Lake Region Economic Block, which has about 14 million population. So covering the entire region in the block makes us reach to a very big number of children, because we are very well know that we have very many youthful population in the region. So when we target this particular region, the 14 million population that we are looking at, we are sure to tap into the resource that's already there in the country. Yes.
And perhaps even as we talk about early child development and tapping into their potential while they're growing, what are some of the impacts you foresee even after such a conference like this one? It's a whole week and there are very many breakout sessions. I don't know if you'll participate in some of them, but what is the outcome you foresee after this exposure?
One thing I need to stress that in early childhood development, when you invest $1, expect $13 in returns. So it's a very crucial period for us to be able to engage in. So as much as we also exhibit in some of the innovations, we're having a particular interest in engaging the leadership. So in engaging the leadership, sure that the counties take priority session. So we invite everyone to come over and even why they need to have investment in the early years.
Indeed, our viewers now are seeing some of the items you have in your booth here. What are some of these kits we are seeing? We are seeing some interesting things that normal citizens don't usually see as they walk around town. What are we seeing here?
So we are having a PPH emergency kit where we are trying to respond in a postpartum hemorrhage, where we are trying to reduce maternal deaths by ensuring that we be able to support our women to prevent loss of blood even after giving birth. So we're having a very good innovation called the NASG, and also the kit that is able to have everybody brought on board to support our mothers not to die because they're very productive in life. We are also having Comfort, a reusable sanitary towel that we're able to use for the girls to make them remain in school. For those who are not able to afford reusable sanitary towels, so it's more reusable. You're able to use it for 1 year, and it's at $550. So it's very cost effective. Then we're having the early child development aspects, play, hold, and talk to your children as early as possible to ensure that later on in life they become good citizens, then they also achieve their human potential. So you're looking at the play items that we are having here, locally made from the local materials. You don't have to buy so many of these things, but if you can buy still, it's still okay. But we encourage caregivers to be able to make locally available materials to ensure that children are able to play, to build their cognitive development. So we're also having our newsletters, our newsprints to be able to showcase the innovations and what we are trying to do. Yes.
Wow, thank you very much. That has been very insightful, and especially where you talked about the local manufacturing of some of these play items. As you know, Kenya is trying to push very hard to industrialize and to make its own items for citizens, and so that we can, move further in economic-wise. Thank you very much for speaking to us, and I just want to also show our viewers how this exhibition center looks like as we move around, just to give you a feel of how this place looks like. Of course, remember, today we are just having preparations and accreditation, but it is possible to show you how exhibitors are setting up. This is like BTS, or behind the scenes, if you will, just to see how people are setting up their booths and what is there that you will probably see later as we continue with the conference. As you can see, this is what we've just talked about right now, Smart Start. And we've seen what they're able to do and what they're showcasing and their impact and what they foresee coming out of this conference with some of these innovations and child early development. I mean, these are some of the things that you see, the government has been pushing for people to realize as we walk around looking at various exhibition centers here. We have people from education, we have people from agriculture, we have everyone coming together to unite in such a huge conference that is inviting international investors and local investors just to see the potential of this side of the world. And I want to take you here where we are seeing something. Remember, Kenya is a huge producer of avocados, especially for export. And what you're seeing here are various items coming from the agricultural sector. Maybe we can get someone to speak to us about what is happening here. We are seeing very nice setup here. People are looking very smart. Congratulations, guys. You look very smart. This is good. You're all kitted up and ready for the conference. I think we can speak to someone. Who can we speak to? Let's speak to someone to talk to us about what they're doing here and what this is about. Maybe you'll start by introducing yourself and welcome. You're live on KBC Channel 1.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Josephine Odwor. I work for Sigrut Orchard and Hive Limited. Our farm is in Siaya County, Ugenya Sub-County. We major in Hass avocado and we also have apiaries. We produce honey. So today we are here for Sitiko for the exhibition. And karibuni sana, karibu Siaya County, karibu to our stand, Sigrut Orchard and Hive Limited. My colleague Simon will talk about the Hass avocado variety. That's what we grow in our farm.
That's very interesting. Hass is very important in this part of the world. And I'm curious to know, as you come to talk to us about Hass avocados, there's usually some few challenges from farmers with the pests and FCM, the false codling moth. How do you manage to grow this very valuable avocado and still for export and makes business sense for you?
Thank you very much. My name is Simon. Both I'm an agronomist. At the same time, I'm showcasing Hass avocados here. Thank you very much for your question. First of all, we are the first people to export avocados from Siaya County, a county that has been known that it can't produce such a very quality avocado. Farmers are facing challenges, pests and diseases, but for our case to produce the best quality, we ensure that we use the best agricultural practices. By use of traps, we have biotraps meant for FCM and meant for fruit flies. And then we use IPM, that's balanced use of chemicals to control diseases. We have anthracnose, we have scab, all these